He had a couple of drops as well, so he should have had a couple of completions. And it will be Pavia, the junior transfer out of New Mexico Military Institute, where Gavin Hardison played. He led Nimi to a JUCO state national championship over Iowa Western last year. Keep it on the ground here on first down.
Fumble.
And did that ball come loose?
Sure looked like it did, but they...
It looks like it stays with New Mexico State, though. Jamani Jones on the carry. All of a sudden, the UTEP defense perked up a little bit there, but it stays with New Mexico State.
Yeah, it was good to see that defensive front really take charge in the late in the first quarter and into the second quarter, and they got to do that continue in the second half to stymie any kind of comeback effort by the Aggies.
Yeah, it did come loose right at the end. It's Tyrese Knight, who's been big tonight, has an interception, also a pass breakup. That kid's leading tackler. He's been all over the place.
He's always all over the place. It's so fun to watch him on tape.
Kobe Hilton, the strong safety, showing a blitz there, although backs off now. Pavia keeps it himself up the middle. Takes a big shot at the 30-yard line. But after a pickup of about 3 on the play, it'll bring up 3rd and medium.
Looked like Blake Thompson on the carry, or on the hit there. Nice wrap-up tackle. That was a beautiful tackle.
Their 2 biggest plays, New Mexico State, in that first half was on the end around, and it was to Jonathan Brady, who they faked that to. So there was plenty of pursuit there on Brady. The Miners, that was one of the things that clearly were correcting at halftime, making sure they don't let Brady get loose in the open field again. But they complemented it well with the D-line there. Blake Thompson making the big hit on Pavia. Now it's 3rd and 4. Miners bringing pressure. Pavia under duress, trying to buy some time, and he's just going to have to throw it away. And then a late flag comes in. Boy, the official almost kind of looked like he was thinking about it for a few seconds before he finally pulled it out. I was wondering if he would, as Pavia went down late there. Looked like he took a little extra shot there from, I believe it was Tyreek James. And that's an absolute gift from the UTEP defense given to the Aggie offense.
Eric, I'm all about protecting quarterbacks, but once he turns into a runner and he's outside the pocket, you've got to make sure that he can hit him. I don't think that's late. I really don't. That's within a 1.5 step.
And you see how long it took the official there.
If you got to think about it that long, then it wasn't that obvious, in my opinion. I know they're protecting the players, but this is still football, and it's a contact sport. I don't agree with that call.
Well, it didn't look like Pavia even took much exception to it at first, but he'll certainly take the 15 free yards and a fresh set of downs. He's trying to find the edge here. Takes a big shot. Kobe Hilton coming in, delivering the blow. Dana Dimmels really loved what he's gotten out of Kobe Hilton. He is a transfer out of Louisiana.
He can bring the hat, but Pavia is getting up, talking about targeting. He's trying to go down, and I don't know. That's a bang-bang play. They're both trying to make a play, and when he's going down and somebody's trying to lower the helmet, sometimes it's going to collide like that. I don't like quarterbacks getting up or any offensive player, with regards to targeting.
Ends up being a gain of 1 here, 2nd and 9. Pavia will keep it, facing pressure, tripped up and taken down finally in the backfield. A slew of defenders getting in there. Tongahua will get credit for the sack.
Like Delon Williams is in the backfield as well. Nice play by the UTEP defense, had him wrapped up.
Delon Williams providing the initial pressure. Dana Dimmel wanted to challenge his defensive line. Talked about it a little earlier. It was expected to be the strength of this unit coming into this season, and through the first 2 games haven't quite lived up to what they expect of themselves, but making their presence felt here. Only 3 down linemen on this 3rd and long. Westmoreland coming from the backside. Pavia doesn't see it, and he's taken down. And it is Maurice Westmoreland coming in, making a play.
Yeah, Westmoreland's a kid that a lot of the staff is excited about. The kids talk about how disruptive he is, and he's a real talent. He's got some good speed for somebody that big and can really close the distance in a hurry.
JUCO transfer out of Kilgore College. He backs up Jadrian Taylor, the senior, who is also a transfer product of Kilgore College, as well as Kelton Moss. I mean, they've really created a good pipeline at UTEP here with Kilgore College, among many other JUCOs, but especially Kilgore. They've gotten some real gifts.
Some good players, yep.
That punt is botched, and it looks like it's recovered by the Aggies. It is. Boy, it's been a disaster back there for Marcus Bellin. He called for the fair catch, and he muffed it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what he was brought in. He was a specialist for punt return, and it looked like he just kind of lost it. He had one of his teammates go right by him at the end of there, and he just took his eye off it, put it on the ground, and it just can't happen. When you're the specialist that you're supposed to be, a punt return specialist, you got to do your job. Unfortunately for the young guy, that's a costly mistake. And
it's recovered by J.J. Derville, and look at that. I mean, that tells the story right there. All of a sudden, there's some momentum, some excitement on a sideline that has not had much to celebrate. Dressed up as Pistol Pete after that turnover.
Yeah, that's like we spoke about right at halftime. This is still not over, and they score here, that becomes a ball game again.
They'll start this drive at the 14-yard line. Pavia with some room this time, makes the first man miss, cuts it inside the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. One play after the muff punt, Diego Pavia gets his first rushing touchdown of the season, and just like that, the Aggies have life.
Yeah, but it's just that quick, Eric. It can happen. You get a big play, a turnover. Now you're in a dogfight again, and here we go. Buckle up. It's going to be a good one.
And it's that missed tackle there.
Yeah, nice run by
Knight
Pavia.
gave him a shot, but ultimately helped him go into the end zone. And now Ethan Albertson on to tack on the extra point, bring this back to a 10-point game. And that kick is blocked. And it looked like potentially it was going to be a return there for UTEP, but Knight ended up running into his own man and falls down, so that was almost a chance for the Miners to add on some points. But, boy, even when things start to look like they're going right for New Mexico State, they then give up a PAT block. So the lead stays at 11 for UTEP, but the Aggies finally on the board for the first time since week 0 after the turnover and the muff punt. Back after this.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach!
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football whale.
A good crew knows conditions can change, especially in life.
It's a boy!
That's why the crew at Carvana gives you 7 days to make sure your car fits your needs. Triplets. This calls for third row seating. Finding the right car can smash your budget. But the crew at Carvana makes it easier to shop with thousands of cars at the right price. So breaking in the new ride won't break the bank. Looks like this little piggy gets to see another day.
So he thinks.
Back inside the Sun Bowl, Miners with a 17-6 lead now. They led it 17-0 at the half. Defense was playing well, and then Marcus Bellin muffed a punt on a fair catch. giving great field position for the Aggies, and they take it on the very first play in for a touchdown. Diego Pavia with a 14-yard quarterback keeper. However, the extra point was blocked, so it's now 17-6, an 11-point lead, and we'll see the Miner offense get back at work.
You know, you go back to that penalty on that roughing the passer. Would have been 3 and out. You know, New Mexico State got a first down, and they were back at it to turn the field possession around. Then we fumbled that punt, and now you know we're in a dogfight again.
Keenan Stewart getting the block. He came through. It almost looked like untouched right up the middle. There's nothing wrong with the kick from Albertson there. It was just poor kick blocking. But that's a good point that you bring up, because they forced the punt, but the punt would have been way back in Aggie territory. So even if he muffs it, that would have been more around midfield as opposed to inside his own 20-yard line.
Right, you go from very good field possession on one penalty that you know, it was kind of, you know, iffy, but they still called it and put yourself in a bad spot. You fumble it, now you find yourself in a game.
Play action looking for Ray Flores over the middle, but he can't corral it. Eric Elkin alongside Mike Perez, the former UTEP quarterback from the early 90s, here with you in the Sun Bowl on this 99th Battle of I-10.
Yeah, early 90s, it seems so long ago, Eric, but God, this place is still as beautiful as ever. You know, I fell in love with it when I used to play here. Now it's gotten just even better with the renovations they've made. Beautiful, clear El Paso night. Nice place to watch a game.
Had their first sellout here since 2008, back in week 0 against North Texas. Of course, they wanted the game to go a little bit differently, but it was a great environment. And that was even with a lightning delay to start things off and push the kick time back about an hour to like 8 o'clock. It's pretty late for the kids, but...
Yeah, this is where your big players have to step up here, because you can feel the momentum shifting big time, and you need one of your big players to step up and make a big play for your offense. Let's hope one of the Miners can step up and find a way to convert this first down.
Just a 1-yard rush for Ronald Awad on second down, so now it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. Aggies look like they're going to bring some pressure from the right side.
Another low snap.
Hardison now facing the pressure, and he's going to go down for the sack. Taken down in the backfield by Marcus Buckley. That's just the 3rd sack of the season for the Aggie defense. Lazarus Williams had one earlier in this game that forced a fumble. But you're right, Mike, good astute observation, a low snap, and Hardison never really had a chance.
Yeah, it's just very disruptive when you got to take your eyes down off the defense for even a split second, because people move so fast. The game is so fast that one split second could throw everything off. And, you know, unfortunately for the Miner offense, that was not a very good series.
Now Josh Sloan will stand at his own 1-yard line, set to kick this one away, 3 and out. This one end over end, a little bit lower. And it'll land just around the 30-yard line before it goes out of bounds. And some chippiness behind the play. Players having to be separated. No flags at this moment. But back around midfield, there on the right side of your screen, they're now separated. You can feel the intensity of the rivalry picking up as these two teams are tangling now at 17-6. And the Aggies with a chance here now, coming back after this, to get it back to a 1-score game.
We decided it's time to put a different kind of power tool in your hands. Store Mode in the Home Depot app gives you in-store tools made to help you get more done. To guide you every step of the way and explore products quickly with the scan. That way you get the top brands at the best prices without missing a beat. It's made for doing. Download the Home Depot app and see how doers get more done.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of One Unlimited for iPhone. It comes with Apple One. That's Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and iCloud Plus.
All included on the network you want to be on.
Get One Unlimited for iPhone and get iPhone 14 Pro on us when you pre-order. Verizon.
This is neat.
So neat.
Electrified. Hanguk Tire.
Team, it's been a grind. but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach.
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the College Football Whale.
So life at the home of SiriusXM is always interesting.
Brandon Marshall is about to give you the scoop.
Spill the tea.
How about Brad Paisley? He never takes his hat off, ever.
True.
2 Chainz wears 1 chain. And Conan's hair isn't naturally red. He washes it with fruit punch. Oh, and Alice Cooper, around here, we call him Alice Poop.
Nope.
I gotta go. You always get me in trouble, Tinks.
9:12 left to play in the third quarter. Aggie offense getting ready to get back out on the field, trailing 17-6. But the momentum certainly has shifted in the favor of NM State. I think that secret being told to Pater Pete that UTEP has lost the momentum, and he doesn't seem thrilled about it.
I think Pater's usually off in his own little world most of the time anyway, Eric. So.
We are not, though, here. Eric Elkin alongside Mike Perez joining you with just over 9 minutes left to play in the third quarter here at the Sun Bowl. 99th Battle of I-10. And things could get interesting, even more interesting here now, depending on what the Aggie offense can do. They go on the ground to Star Thomas on first down, and it's a good gain of about 8 for Star Thomas. Best run of the night for him. We were looking over some of the stats during the break, and it's pretty remarkable. I think the Miners are statistically have the edge significantly in just about every category, and New Mexico State as a team has only completed 1 pass the entire night for 11 yards. Outside of that, it's come on the ground.
And here they are. I mean, now you can see the momentum shifting. This is a huge possession in the game. There comes a point in the game when a possession gets really huge. This is one right now, right here. Miner defense really needs to buckle up and stop them.
And the Miner defense has been playing very well throughout the night, but they didn't have much time off the field, and right back on it here. Here's Praise Mehule coming around the edge to clean up the tackle. It'll be a tackle for loss.
Yeah, that was all Keenan Stewart on that play. He dominated his guy and got across the line of scrimmage and forced everything back towards his buddies, and Praise was there to clean it up.
That ends up being a loss of 2, and now 3rd and 4. A bunch formation on the bottom of your screen. Pavia with time, and it's incomplete. Boy, he was about 4 yards short of his intended receiver. It looked like he was open. It was Star Thomas. Looked like he had a little bit of room, but Pavia just threw it nowhere near him.
Yeah, that's one you got to complete as a quarterback playing at this level. That's an easy pitch and catch, and he's got to make that. He's got to make that throw.
Yeah, it's just not even close.
Yep.
I mean, Thomas was calling for it. He was ready. He was open, and
yeah, he's gonna hate to watch this on film tomorrow because you're gonna be all over him during film session on Sunday. That's a good job by the defense to 3 and out and to get the ball back to this offense. Hopefully, they can get something going offensively.
A change in punt returner after Bellin muffed the punt. Marcus Bellin muffed the last one. It's Ray Flores now back deep to receive. He signals for a fair catch but can't get underneath it, and it goes out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. And that is where the Miners will take over. So the Miner defense answers the call, forces a 3 and out, and the Miner offense try and get something going.
We made USAA Renters Insurance for the stuff you love. Because if it's worth lugging up 5 floors, it's worth protecting for as low as 33 cents a day. It's that simple. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Did I tell you I bought our car from Carvana?
Yeah, Ma.
It was so easy. I found the perfect car. Under budget, too. And I get 7 days to love it or my money back. I love it. I thought online meant no one to help me. But Susan from Carvana had all the answers. She didn't try to upsell me. Not once. Because they're not salespeople. Where do you guess who just checked in on me?
Mom.
Susan from Carvana.
We'll drive you happy at Carvana. The number one question I get is what makes Curology better?
You get the benefit of having a dermatology provider right at your fingertips.
Each custom formula contains 3 active ingredients that actually work better together.
We prescribe the custom formula based on your medical history, your photos, your skin concerns, and the sensitivity of your skin.
Every day I hear patients telling us that Curology changed my life.
Curology, made for you, made to work. Try 30 days free at Curology.com.
Here's the problem, team. Nobody knows what Hulu Plus Live TV is.
Yeah, it comes with over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games, plus Hulu's entire streaming library.
Plus Disney Plus, plus ESPN Plus.
What if we change the name?
Give me something. No bad ideas. Let's go.
Super Hulu.
Bad idea. Hulu Bold. No.
Hulu Plus Live TV Plus.
Yeah, everybody's kind of doing the plus thing after the name.
What if we call it Hulu Plus Live TV Plus Plus Plus?
You're saying 3 pluses? That's what you're saying? That's dumb, but we're going to go with it.
.46 left to play in the third quarter. Miners still with a 17-6 lead. The defense forcing a 3-and-out on the last series after the offense went 3-and-out. Haven't seen a whole lot from the Miner offense so far in this third quarter. See if they can get a little bit of momentum going.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him get into some type of, rhythm and there's a nice play action pass.
Play action looking over the top to the tight end, Zach Fryer, but a little bit overthrown. And Fryer, the 6'1", 240-pound redshirt junior out of Venice, Florida, unable to come down with that. He was a teammate of Hardison's at New Mexico Military Institute. Blanket coverage on the play by B.J. Skulark. A little bit of contact.
Sometimes, you got to take what the defense gives you. They gave him the fullback in the flat on that bootleg, and he had Tua wide open. Sometimes you got to take what the defense gives you, not always try to take the home run shot. We got to find somebody to settle this offense down and make a play here.
Play clock's down to 2. They just get the snap off. Hardison with time. Trying to find a soft spot over the middle, was looking for Tyron Smith, and it's incomplete, overthrown. Smith took a bit of a shot at the end of that. That's back-to-back incompletions, and quickly 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, you put yourselves in 3rd and 10. Eric, do you know the conversion rate, percentage, successful rate for an offense to complete a 3rd and 10?
I'm guessing it's not very good.
It's 31%.
31%.
Yeah, so you're really against the numbers when you get into these spots, and makes it really difficult.
Miners were 2 for 2 on the first drive on 3rd down conversions. Now 3 of 9 for the game, though. And that one is off the hands of Smith and incomplete. You'd make the argument that Smith probably could have come down with that one a little bit high, but that's a ball that Smith will probably tell you he should have caught. And now it's 3-and-out again. 3 straight throws.
Yeah, you'd like to see some running game there. 1, to get the clock going, and 2, to establish a little more momentum. Anytime you run the ball, it opens up everything else. And I think we've been pass happy the last couple of series there for the Miners. And you'd like to see somebody say, hey, let's start running that ball again.
So that brings Josh Sloan back out there. Last time he was punting it standing from his own 1-yard line. This time not much better at his own 9. And he's just able to get that one away. Aggies brought a lot of pressure there.
That could be roughing.
And there are 2 flags down on the field around the 12-yard line. And
ran into him pretty good. I don't know if it's running into, but it sure looked like they hit his leg. Wasn't the plant leg, though.
Yeah, the big difference being 5 or 15. 15 would be the automatic first down. 5 would, I would venture to guess that they'll still.
I think it's 5 because they're asking Dana if he wants to decline it or re-kick it or take the penalty at the end over there. So I don't think they're going to get the personal foul type.
Well, and the fair catch was made at the 34-yard line, so you could back this up inside the 30 or see if you can pin him back deep with a big booming punt from Sloan if you elect to go after it again.
You know, they got him pretty good. I thought that was going to be a roughing the punter, but yeah, I mean that's a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
That's not running into the kicker. That's roughing the punter.
Well, and they elect to decline it, so it'll be at the 34-yard line instead. They've been getting a little bit closer on the pressure, so I'm wondering if Dana Dimmel may be thinking there 34 is not the worst case scenario, and if you punt it again, you run the risk of potentially having them come through and getting a block.
If anybody should be protected, I've always felt this as a punter. You're up on one leg, and a lot of things can go wrong when you get hit like that.
So that's where the Aggie offense will take over after going 3 and out the last series. And this one starts with flags. Question is, who flinched first? And that's the discussion right now. I believe it'll be against the Aggies. It is false start. They didn't even reference a number because there were a couple of guys that moved at the same time. There's a look at Dana Dimmel on the sideline.
Yeah, you know, that first half of football was really enjoyable, good. We had some back and forth, some mistakes, but this one is kind of, both teams seem like they're in a rut offensively and nothing's really happening.
And you can feel that in the crowd a little bit too. There's kind of this lull right now.
Yep, exactly right. Need a turnover or some big play to happen. There's a
flag
right
in the
there.
backfield as that pass falls incomplete.
Yeah,
and this one's likely going to go against the NMSU as well. So you accept this penalty. Could accept this and make it 1st and 25 or decline and make it 2nd and 15.
Yeah, they tackled Dennis Barnes as he was coming in off on a blitz, and I think it was their left tackle that got him. That's 78. Yeah, that's what it looked like.
That's Gabe Preciado, the left tackle. Of course, Sage Dockstader was the anchor at that spot for the last several years for NMSU. Just a towering left tackle out of Canada.
I always feel bad for offensive linemen because the only time they get any recognition of any kind is when they're called for holding or something not so good, a false start.
Generally speaking, that is the way it goes.
But they're the lifeblood of any offense.
Just like any snapper or holder as well.
That's true.
If you're mentioning their name, it's probably for a bad reason. Well, there's a completion just the second of the day, and Star Thomas makes something happen, makes a couple guys miss, and he's racing down the sideline inside the 40 before he's finally chopped down by Tyreek James. That play should have amounted to really nothing, but Star Thomas made it happen.
Well, he turned it into a big play. We talk about big plays and how important they are.
A rare missed tackle from Tyrese Knight.
And a bad angle there by Hilton.
They're two top leading tacklers.
Absolutely, and that just can't happen. I mean, it's a nice play by the running back there. I'm sorry, lost
Star Thomas.
Star Thomas. That was a really nice play. A big gain. That's I think their second big play of the game.
You know, that's something that Jerry Kill talked about this week, too, when he was calling out the offensive line, saying they needed to play better. He was saying at the same time the running backs, he's been telling them, sometimes the holes aren't going to be there, and you got to make your own play, and that's exactly what Star Thomas did there. And now Pavia is trying to make his own play, and look out for a flag. This could be a horse collar.
Ooh.
I don't see anything yet. That was
I thought
into the naked eye. I thought for sure that would be a flag.
I agree with you, Eric. I was waiting for the yellow hanky to come flying because it sure looked like he got into that horse collar area, and you can see it here on the replay.
And it doesn't have to just be on the back. It could be a little bit on the side there, which is...
Oh, yeah.
He's got the jersey.
I mean, that was close.
That was close.
That was really close.
That was Elijah Johnson on the tackle. I think that was a good call. Good no call by the officials, because that was right on the jersey.
But had they called it, it would have been hard to argue against something like that.
You got to get those hands inside the actual
back part,
grabbing the back plate of the shoulder pads, and Johnson was dangerously close but didn't quite get there. And now the Aggies forced to take a timeout. A little bit of miscommunication there. 2nd and 5. Not exactly where you want to take your timeout. With 5:40 left in the third quarter, you're down 11 points. You really want to have those for later in the game as you're trying to make this comeback.
You're right, Eric. That's a very good point. You're going to need them. But at the same time, this is a very crucial call right now.
Sure.
You're still in a favorable spot. So instead of coming in and taking a chance on something not being right, it's probably a good time to take a timeout. I know Coach Kill probably didn't want to do it, but it's a good time to take one.
You wish you didn't have to, but the right call.
Right, correct.
2nd and 5. It'll be a critical possession here. They don't necessarily, obviously they want the touchdown, but you're right on the edge there of field goal range, and if you get 3 out of this, that does make it a one-score game. So either way, the biggest thing here for the Aggies, they're trying to get some points out of this drive.
That's a very good point. It's a two possession game, a 2-score game, and however you can get it, you're gonna want to score here.
Well, and this will move the chain. Star Thomas starting to find a little bit of rhythm after he made that big play on the screen pass. Made 2 defenders miss, and now finds a bit of a hole. The sophomore transfer out of Coffeyville Community College, a native of Homer, Louisiana.
You know, again, that's just a good, tough run between the tackles. It takes a man to run in between there, and sure enough, Star Thomas has definitely done that the last couple of times he's touched the ball.
A lot of people were expecting the Michigan transfer Amari Samuels, redshirt senior, to start this year, but Jamani Jones and Star Thomas, 2 JUCO transfers, really impressed during the offseason heading into this season. Here's Pavi on the outside, gains 4 or 5 yards. Thomas got here a little bit later, but Jamani Jones was impressive. And then, of course, the transfer from TCU, Amante Watkins. So they've got 3 different guys there. Thomas and Jones are the big backs at 6'2", 225 and 6 feet 225. And then Watkins just has that burning speed. And then Pavia can hurt you with the legs, too, which is what he likes to do.
Yeah, he just made a nice move on Tyreek James there coming up from his safety spot to actually make what would have been maybe a loss into a positive play for the Aggies there. Yeah, Pavia's got a little bit of wiggle in him. He's not a bad runner.
And he's going to the air, to the corner, and the pass is incomplete. Boy, it looked like for a moment there, Justice Powers would have had a highlight reel catch, which he had last week at Minnesota on his only catch, a 34-yarder. That was just one of those you got mossed moments over the defender, and this one looked like it was going to match it potentially, but last minute that ball hit the ground.
Very nice play to come in here and just pull it out at the very end. He was out of bounds.
Even if he did hang on to it, his foot was out of bounds, but
that was a good play by Shelton, a fight all the way to the end and help draw that ball loose.
Latrez Shelton, the guy that Dana Dimmel's really excited to get, a JUCO transfer out of Iowa Western Community College. He only played 1 year there, and Dana told me that if he had played another year there, he'd be getting exclusively Power 5 offers coming out of there. So they felt like they got a steal in him.
Yeah, really nice play by Shelton on that one.
3rd and 7. Pavia facing pressure, and he overthrows his receiver. That'll bring up 4th down, so the UTEP defense bends a little bit on this drive after giving up the big play to Star Thomas on the heels of a couple of missed tackles. But it looks like they don't completely break here, having to force the field goal attempt as the unit will come on. This will set up as a 37-yarder from the left hash for Ethan Albertson, whose only kick in this game was a blocked extra point because the blocking on the extra point was non-existent. See if they clean that up here.
Yeah, it came straight up the middle, which is not the pressure you want as a kicker. You can deal with the edges, but up the middle is hard, and hopefully we get some pressure again and get another deflection.
Albertson's got a big leg, 1 of 2 on the year, but this one leaking left, and it's wide left.
Oof, that's a big
miss. So the Aggies get nothing out of it.
Yeah, the Miners dodged a bullet there. It's a big miss by the kicker.
That's one you expect the redshirt junior out of San Diego, California to make.
Yeah, everything looked clean. Looked like a good snap, good hole. It just yanked a little bit, and, that's...
There's some choice words there from Jerry Kill to Ethan Albertson.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got your team playing hard right back in the game, and then the one thing you're supposed to do is put it to those uprights, and then you fail to do that. That lets everybody down. The Miners need to settle down and get a drive going with a lot of running, start opening up some holes because it sets up everything else for them. They're not a drop-back passing team.
Well, they like to stay in the air here, and Gavin Hardison had Tyron Smith wide open. If he hits him in stride, there's a little bit of room there. It looked like that Smith could have made it really turn into a big play, but he skipped it by his feet.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good throw by Gavin. Usually he's pretty accurate, and looked like he checked into that play. He gets these run-pass options, and from what he sees, he can check into it. That was a check-off into that. But I'm sure Dana might rein him in a little bit if he keeps missing people like that.
So now 2nd and 10. This time they keep it on the ground. Awatt following a blocker, has some room up across the 30-yard line, and they move the chains. So there's something finally to build on for the Miners. After a couple of 3-and-outs, and it looked like almost exclusively passing the football, they finally get back to the ground game, and look at this patient running, following the right tackle, Awatt, following the lead of Jeremiah Byers, who was pulling.
A nice block by Smith, the receiver for the Miners. Really good block at the point of attack there, and kept his hands inside so he doesn't get called for holding.
The other thing that does, too, is starts to move the clock again.
Absolutely.
All those incompletions just kept...
You take an offensive series and you burn 40 seconds. That's not what you want to do.
He's going to throw it here, there. They find the connection with Smith. Breaks the tackle across midfield inside the 45. And boy, that play just feels like it's one broken tackle away from potentially being the home run play, which is probably why they keep going back to it. It's just they haven't connected. But finally, Hardison connecting with Tyron Smith.
Well, it's there. It's there. And then when you can execute it like that, you wonder why you can't do that. But we just haven't been able to execute it consistently. And it looks great when it works.
Hardison wearing number 2 this year. He's worn number 12 the last couple of years, of course, honoring the late Luke Laufenberg. And that's what it says on the back of his jersey, too, instead of his last name. So he throws one to the outside. It's caught by Ray Flores. I know UTEP fans who watch these broadcasts from afar every week certainly know the storyline with Gavin Hardison wearing the number 2 in honor of Luke Laufenberg. The stickers on the helmets that say Luke as well, but always important to bring that storyline up that this team continues to honor the late Luke Laufenberg, who lost his battle with cancer back in August of 2019, was a member of this Miner team, and of course, the son of Babe Laufenberg.
Did you ever get a chance to meet him, Eric?
I have not, actually.
Luke
I know he's here
kid.
frequently, and of course he's on the radio broadcast with the Dallas Cowboys.
Well,
follow him on Twitter.
I was talking about the son while he was here. He was just a great kid. And then you meet his dad, and you can see why.
See where it comes from.
I mean, but he was such a good kid, and so unfortunate. I mean, take such a young, good soul. For some reason, we don't know why that happens to kids that young, but unfortunate, and good family. The Laufenberg family is really good. We send our regards to them.
Of course, they have a cafe in the training center there, too, in the Larry K. Durham Center as well, named after him. So he'll forever be a part of this program.
Absolutely.
And it was going to be worn by Jacob Cowing when he was initially going to stay, but Cowing elected to instead transfer and go back closer to home in Arizona, where he has a young son. But the neat thing about that is Cowing is wearing number 2 at Arizona, and he's doing that to honor Luke Laufenberg even from afar, as things are starting to get a little chippy here. And, of course, he's delivering. He had 3 touchdown catches in the win at San Diego State last week.
You know, Eric, I watched that game, and, man, he made it look easy.
Yeah.
He really made it look easy. And
well, I think it's pretty clear he's going to be an NFL guy.
Yeah, he's special. You could tell he was special, 3 years ago when he first came on the scene. And, kids like that, I mean, it's you can tell right away when they got that special gift.
This will be 2nd and 8. Now inside a minute in this third quarter. Awatt trying to bounce it to the outside, but a nice play made by Marcus Buckley, who had a sack earlier in this half as well. So the defensive tackle, Buckley, and defensive end, Lazarus Williams, have been making their presence felt throughout tonight. If Buckley doesn't make that tackle, Awatt might have some space on the outside.
Yeah, here we are in that 3rd and long, unfavorable position for offenses, but it's been a good drive by the Miners. You just don't want to do anything silly. Maybe give yourself a long field goal opportunity or an opportunity to go for it if you get some good yards on 4th down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them try and get some yardage here and even go for it on 4th down. They're going to go for the big shot, though, instead to Ray Flores. He was in a battle there. No flag on the play. Overthrown and incomplete. And Ray Flores looking around, thinking maybe there was going to be some laundry, but that looked like some good coverage on the outside, as it was just a one-on-one battle, and it was Cyrus Dumas on the coverage.
Yeah, I don't like this. A one-on-one, one receiver, one-on-one route. Not a whole lot of option. Hard thing to hit. Really good coverage by the New Mexico State secondary.
And that sets up a big field goal here for Gavin Beckley. This will officially go down as a 46-yard attempt from the left hash. He's 1 for 1 today. The first one a 29-yarder. And this one is up and right down the middle. So after that first miss in week 0 on the first drive of the season, Beckley has atoned for that nicely. Now up to 6 for 7 on the year from in the field goal department, including a couple of bombs at Oklahoma last weekend. But that one pushes the lead back to 13 with 5 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's a big kick right there by Beckley. I mean, you come
14,
back.
Excuse me.
Your counterpart just missed a big kick, and then you come back. I mean, that really will draw raves from his teammates. It's
a 6-point swing right there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big play right there, and good for Gavin. He's a good kid, and glad to see he's off to a pretty good start to the season.
So it's now a 2-touchdown game, when just a few minutes ago we thought the Aggies might be able to get it back to a 1-score game.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to see the Miners come back with the running game a little bit to set up some of the passes. And, good things happen when you run the ball. It opens up things to across the middle of the field where you can pass. And that was a good drive where they went down and got some points and also chewed up some minutes on the clock, Eric. That was probably the most important thing of all, was they were able to chew off a lot of time.
Yeah, leaving just 5 seconds left in this third quarter. All of Beckley's kickoffs have gone through the end zone, no returns, and this will be the same. They're all landing almost in the exact same spot, too. And so we'll still have one more play, likely just one more play here in this third quarter, barring a very quick incompletion. And I would imagine the Aggies are going to keep sticking with Pavia at quarterback. He's in the huddle right now. We haven't seen Gavin Frakes since he got pulled after starting this game, his first career start.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say they're probably going to go with Pavia the rest of the way here, unless there's some type of injury or maybe they need a bigger arm on a Hail Mary pass or something. But I think he's come in and kind of settled the offense down a bit and is doing pretty well.
The guy who's really shined, though, in the last couple of drives is Star Thomas,
yes,
the running back.
He really has. Oh,
there's an end around and a nice tackle by Kobe Hilton, cutting the legs out of Amonte Watkins, and he's the speed guy, so you don't want to let him get into open space. But Hilton came flying in to make the play and keep it to just a gain of 1, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. Put 15 more minutes up on the clock for the final quarter of the 99th Battle of I-10, with the Miners leading 20-6.
Electrified. Hungok Tire.
Okay, this is a freezer, not a time capsule. Sometimes the house itself can tell you how a young homeowner is turning into their parents.
Not those two.
Yep, they're gone.
Forever?
Yep.
That there is Progressive's Home Quote Explorer website, where I compared home insurance rates.
We don't need to print the internet. Some are beyond help. I will give you $100 if you can tell me what this is.
Scotch egg.
It's a meatball.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer.
We've got a lot of work to do.
The technologies that power what we use every day should be made here at home. That's why I passed a law expanding microchip manufacturing in Arizona to lower costs and keep us competitive so families can finally get ahead.
We're celebrating 50 years of Popeye's Signature Chicken with a deal you'll love. Now for just $6.99, takes 50 years of crunchy, juicy chicken we've been serving since 1972. Get the 5-piece while you can for just $6.99.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
My active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down.
Now, Skyrizi helps me get going by treating my skin and joints. Along with significantly clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Skyrizi attaches to and reduces a source of excess inflammation that can lead to skin and joint symptoms. With Skyrizi, 90% clearer skin and less joint pain is possible.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like the feeling of improving my skin and joints. And that means everything. Now's the time to talk to your doctor about how Skyrizi can help treat your psoriatic arthritis so you can get going. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Good checkup? No, great checkup.
Oh, thank you, Doc. We're talking Dental Hall of Fame.
You want a sticker?
For great checkups, Crest has you covered. Because Crest Pro Health protects 100% of your mouth for 24 hours.
Keep up the good work.
Densify from Crest Pro Health.
Like bones, your teeth lose density over time, but Crest has you covered. Crest Densify actively rebuilds tooth density to extend the life of teeth.
Crest, the #1 toothpaste brand in America.
Final 15 minutes on the clock here to start the 4th quarter. Eric Elkin alongside Mike Perez, the former UTEP quarterback. This 99th edition of the Battle of I-10, and it's going the way of the Miners at this point. But still plenty of time for things to change for NMSU, trailing by 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 9 coming out of the quarter break, and here's Pavia breaking a couple of tackles, still on his feet up near the 30-yard line. And what has been a pretty sure tackling defense all of a sudden on the last drive and right there showing a little bit of sloppiness.
Take a guess who that was, Eric. Tyrese Knight.
Tyrese Knight was in there, yep.
Yep, he ran him down and got him by the feet and brought him down. Nice pursuit here. You
Keep
can
your
watch.
eye on number 10 here.
Yep.
10 on 10.
Yep. That kid's fun to watch, I'm telling you, as somebody who's played, and you just enjoy watching him.
And he's so critical right now because the linebacker position's a little bit thin with injuries, and Breon Hayward still trying to deal with the waiver situation. As on 3rd down, finally a connection through the air. It is caught by Chris Bellamy, enough for the 1st down to move the chains. That's just the 3rd completion of the evening for the Aggies. 2 for Pavia, 1 from Gavin Frakes before he was pulled.
Yep. A big completion there. Keep the Aggie drive alive. I mean, you're getting critical now. You're down to maybe 3, maybe a 4th possession if you're lucky, but you got to come up with points on, a couple of these possessions here to get back in the game.
So it's 1st and 10. Get back to the ground game with Star Thomas, who had some success on the last drive. Doesn't find much room in that defensive front this time around. Picks up, call it about 1.5, 2 yards with his forward momentum.
Yeah, it's a good play by the defensive line to stuff that and get the Aggies in a tougher down and distance here. Right now the defense is winning the battle of downs and distance, but let's see what New Mexico State has in their book to get back on the plus side.
Points have been hard to come by for the Aggies. Just 12 in the opening loss to Nevada, and 2 of those coming in the form of a safety. Got shut out at Minnesota last Thursday, and just 6 points to show for through 3+ quarters here. And now they'll be facing a 3rd and long. Well, 3rd and medium. They'll mark him down just shy of the 40-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 5.
I tell you what, Blake Thompson has had a lot of penetration. He's coming off the field now, and he's exhausted, but he's played a really good game. That was him that forced the back to have to go outside, and then all his posse met him.
Well, they've been hearing a lot of different names on the defensive front for UTEP. Dana Dimmel saying coming into this one he expected to play 13 guys on the defensive line alone. just shows you the depth of their rotation that they have.
They've got some really, really good players on that defensive front. That's why I was kind of surprised that North Texas ran the ball as well as they did on us. And tonight they've stepped it up and done a good job against the run.
Miners showing a blitz, and they bring the heat. Pavia's got time though, and he finds his receiver once again, Chris Bellamy. Boy, the line, they've been challenged this week to play better by Jerry Kill. That time they gave Pavia enough time, even facing the pressure.
Yeah, they picked up everything. They brought the house, the kitchen sink, and nice pitch and catch. But it all started with the offensive line giving Pavia some time to get comfortable in the pocket and make a nice throw.
Bellamy came into tonight with just 1 catch for 9 yards. He's got 2 here on this drive. JUCO transfer out of Coffeyville Community College. Pavia with time again. And his pass is dropped by his wide receiver, Terrell Warner. That's been a problem for this Aggie offense. Drops throughout the first 3 weeks of the season, and that one you can't put on the quarterback.
Yeah, that was a nice throw by Pavia. You can tell he doesn't have the strongest arm, but he hit him right where you can't place it any better than that, and that's just taking your eyes off the ball right there.
No, that's the difference between now 2nd and 10 and what would have been 2nd and less than a yard, and that's not counting if you got anything after the catch.
Yeah, we talk about staying ahead of the sticks all the time, and this is now as a coordinator, you got to say, man, this is got a tougher spot now. I got to come up with a nice call.
Thomas will try to stretch it to the outside. There's a flag that comes in the backfield, so this one's likely to come back.
Yeah, when the referee throws it like that, it's usually a holding.
I don't know if you caught that there. Maurice Westmoreland might want to be careful. He gave a little... Oh, they pick up the flag, so there's no holding penalty. But just to complete the thought there, I noticed Westmoreland clashed the face masks a little bit, getting the face of Star Thomas. If the officials were looking and feeling like they're wanting to tame the intensity of a rivalry, they could have easily thrown a flag there.
Yeah, nowadays it doesn't take much.
No.
They're taught to protect the game, and they don't want anything to get out of hand. So the way to nip that in the bud is to control it by flagging people for any type of intimidation or taunting or anything like that. So we got to be real careful.
So because of picking up the flag, it's a gain of 1. It sets up 3rd and 8. Miners once again showing blitz. This time they don't come. Set up the screen to Jones. Jones cuts it upfield and has enough for the first down up across the 35-yard line. Yeah, it's good patience from Jamani Jones.
Same screen they ran on their first offensive possession of the game. It's the exact same one, and they got him again. Kind of anticipated the blitz, and real nice job of the offensive line of picking up the blocks and enough for the first down.
Yeah, closing out Tyrese Knight, who was there licking his chops trying to get ready to make another tackle.
Yeah, it's hard when it's 1 against 3. No matter how good you are, chances are you're going to get blocked.
That's a good job by Jones, though, to cut that back up the field. If he keeps his momentum going towards the outside, he's going to run right into Tyrese Knight.
Yep.
And here's Jones on the ground with some room. Gets up near the 25-yard line. Again, a little extracurricular, and Jones pleading his case for that flag, but nothing thrown yet. But you can feel if a couple more of those plays happen, it's only going to increase the likelihood of the officials finally throwing one.
Guess who made that tackle
and
again?
That's right there. That actually, you could have easily thrown the flag on Tyrese Knight there.
Yeah. That's true. No reason to do that. You can't get careless. Make a play, get up, go back to the huddle. That's what your job is.
Quarterback keeper for Pavia. Gets up near the line of scrimmage, picks up about 2, bring up 3rd and short.
Yep, this is another big down, and who comes up with the stop or the conversion? This is going to be a big play in the game. So right now, as a defensive coordinator, you're coming up with your best call, and an offensive coordinator, you're coming up with what you think that your counterpart's going to do to counter what he's doing. It's a big chess match, and it's sometimes beautiful to see who wins and who gets outguessed.
Barring a big loss here, can't imagine this isn't 2-down territory at this point with the way the kicking game has gone tonight for the Aggies and down 2 touchdowns, approaching 8.5 left to play. They'll try and get it here on 3rd down, and it's going to be close. but not enough for Jamani Jones. So now it's time for that decision for Jerry Kill. And I'll be surprised if he doesn't keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, I think you go for it here and, try with, 4th and short to come up with a good play where you can keep this drive alive or go score now.
A field goal doesn't do you a whole lot of good because it's still a 2-score game.
Correct.
You haven't made a kick. You had an extra point blocked and missed a field goal. So none of that makes a whole lot of sense, especially when it's only 4th and the call it 1, but it's really about 1.5 yards that they're going to need.
Yeah, it's a big call here, and I expect Bradley Del Pivito to bring some pressure.
They need to get just shy of the 22-yard line. You can see the sticks there at the top of your screen.
So knowing there you go. You get a timeout.
Play clock was winding down, and Jerry Kill just threw his headset.
Yeah, you probably
talked earlier about having to use a timeout on a 2nd and 5 in the middle of a drive where they didn't really want to have to. And now they have to burn another one here, and now there's 7:50 left in the game. You're down 2 touchdowns. And now you're down to 1 timeout.
Yeah, again, Eric, we talk about how Kill's staff has only been around for, so long, and they still have a lot of things to figure out. And when you get into positions like this, in the heat of the game, sometimes somebody's off or doesn't know personnel's in there correctly, and you have to burn a timeout. And unfortunately, those are the growing pains that new staffs have to go through.
And we're going to burn a timeout with them as well. So we'll step aside with 7:50 left to play. Aggies driving, down 2 touchdowns.
If you want to ace your paper, download Grammarly. Grammarly helps you clean up messy, confusing sentences to get your point across clearly. Whoa. Good looks. Future me? No problem. Thank you. Thank you. What? Grammarly checks against billions of sites and catches any accidental plagiarism. Looks good to me. Submit it.
By the way, you end up getting an A+.
It's up to you. Your run can be whatever you want it to be. Crazy fast or nice and slow, up the hill or around the block. Because it's not about keeping up with everyone else or how far you've gone or hitting the perfect time every time out. It's about letting your run be your run. Brooks is here for every runner, doing the research and sweating the details to create gear that works for you. It's your run. Brooks, run happy.
Seriously? Now there's a hole in your defense. Look at the size of that gap. Is that a goat?
You talking about me?
I think this goat is saying gap.
Must be talking about the expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
So who's talking about the money Aflac pays to help close that gap?
Aflac, gap, Aflac, gap. It's about to go down, baby. Aflac.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Aflac
is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
All electric, with room for up to 7. It's the SUV electric has been waiting for. The all-new EQB from Mercedes-Benz.
Fourth and 1, huge play in this Battle of I-10, the 99th Battle of I-10. Aggies need about 1.5 yards to keep this drive going. Pavia in the gun. They hand it off up the middle, and it looks like it's enough. It is enough for a first down for Jamani Jones. So the drive extends for the Aggies. That was a chance for the Minor defense to try and get off the field, but the offensive line answers the call, pushing the pile forward and giving enough room for Jamani Jones.
Yeah, they ran right on the left side over Gabe Presidia and Javon Brown, and they did a nice job of moving that defensive line out. Nice first down.
So now what can the Aggies do with a fresh set of downs? Just on the edge of the red zone, just outside the 20-yard line. Star Thomas now in the red zone and looking for more. He surges his way all the way up across the 11-yard line, just shy of the 10, so it'll be a first down, and I think they'll mark it just outside the 10-yard line, so they might still be able to get a first down here. I don't know that this will be goal to go. It looks like they are putting it right on the 10, and they put the sticks down, so it'll be first and goal from the 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like the Aggies have found their running back. Star Thomas is really
turning into a star here tonight.
Yeah, he's put an exclamation point on that position, and he's playing really well.
Pavia keeps this time, and he has nowhere to go. Good contained Kobe Hilton there, along with Praise Mehule, not giving Pavia any room, and it'll be a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, it looked like he misread that. He should have handed it all. He should have handed the ball, and Praise is
a guy who's just loaded up the stat sheet over the last couple of years. Off to a bit of a slow start statistically speaking. Came into tonight with just a tackle and 1 fumble recovery through the first 2 games. But he's a guy who disrupts everything for the offense with his 6'10" wingspan.
He looks so good in a uniform, doesn't he? I mean, that's a defensive end built.
He had 13 tackles for loss last year, 5.5 sacks, 10 quarterback hurries, 7 pass breakups with that wingspan. It's only a matter of time for him before the stats keep coming. Pavia is able to turn away from that one, looking for the pylon, and he's got it. Touchdown, Aggies.
Wow. Nice play by Pavia there. Sure looked like there was a clip right at the end. That was close. Right at the tail end of that play. It may have looked like a block in the back, but it could have been right on the corner. Nope, he got in front of him. Nice block.
Second rushing touchdown of the night for Diego Pavia, who started the first 2 games of the season at quarterback, doing the duties off the bench tonight. After Gavin Frakes, the true freshman, did not have much success in the early going, and now Pavia's really found some swagger.
Yeah,
Ethan Albertson had his PAT blocked, and this one is up and through. So the first converted kick of the night after a missed field goal and blocked PAT, an important one there because that one gets it to 7. And Tyrese Knight was not able to contain the edge there, and Pavia took advantage.
Yeah, nice little assist there by the slot receiver, Jordan Parker, to come in with a nice block to help his quarterback get into the end zone.
Well, with 5:43 left to play, we have a...
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot is here to help. With job site delivery to keep you on site and on schedule, and equipment rentals to make sure you can take on any job. Plus, when you join Pro Extra, you'll earn perks on every dollar you spend. Earn perks 4 times faster when you join. Register and use your Pro Extra credit card. New tech, new tools, new ways to grow your business, all at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
What makes L'Oreal Paris Hyaluronic Acid Serum loved by so many?
Our highest concentration of pure hyaluronic acid. Over time, wrinkles are visibly reduced. Skin is replumped. 100% of women showed an improvement. Revitalift Hyaluronic Acid Serum by L'Oreal Paris.
Ion. Electrified. Hungok tire.
Sergio, you were fucking mascara. I know you.
About to get down, living it up. Never touch ground, never enough. Got me feeling good. Everything's good vibes, good vibes.
All electric with room for up to 7. It's the SUV Electric has been waiting for. The all-new EQB from Mercedes-Benz.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Oops.
You go.
No, you go.
Oh.
Go for the handful.
Fans getting into it here at the Sun Bowl to the tune of some Journey, who actually just performed over the summer up the road in Las Cruces at the Pan American Center, believe it or not. Journey still on the road. And the Minor Faithful hoping to, well, it's really the Aggies who are the ones saying don't stop believing right now, because they're only down 7 despite all stats, I should say, and what feels like odds stacked against them in this game, but the Miners have let them hang around.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the first half, and here we are again. We let them back in, and here it is, a 1-score game with 5:43 to go, anybody's game.
Miner offense really hasn't done much in this second half, just 3 points on a Gavin Beckley field goal and several 3-and-outs. And this would be a critical time for the Miners to put a drive together as the kick will go through the end zone for a touchback. So with 5:43 left to play, the Miner offense will come back on the field at the 25-yard line and could, in theory, not give the ball back to the Aggies the whole way. I mean, they had a drive at the beginning of the play that took up more than 8 minutes on 17 plays, 63 yards. That took up 8 minutes and 18 seconds. You know, MSU only has one timeout remaining.
I was just going to bring that up. Good catch. I mean, it's so important now to be able to use those timeouts to help your defense, but if the Miners get the ground game going, it's maybe only 3 first downs and you run this thing out.
That's what the Aggies have done in the second half, is get the ground game going. A lot of it thanks to that man right there, Diego Pavia, with 2 rushing touchdowns in this half. He was their leading rusher coming into this game and was the backup quarterback starting this game. And they're looking for another slant ball over the middle, this one over the head of Ray Flores. We've seen a similar play to that, mostly to Tyron Smith, several times throughout this game, but the conversion rate on it has not been very good. I can only recall about 1 or 2 of those that have really linked up.
I mean, that's got to be almost a precise pass. It wasn't really open, and you're asking for bad things to happen when you start forcing balls across the middle. Things get tipped, things get deflected, bounce up, and it could really change some things. But you'd like to see them run the ball and run this clock down.
Yeah, I was going to say it's essentially a free timeout for New Mexico State.
You're right, Eric. You basically gave them a free timeout.
And have nothing to show for it. This one they put in the chest of Ronald Awad, who jumps over a pile. And that forward momentum will give him a couple of yards, but it's going to set up a 3rd and long.
Yep, you know, it's one of the things that you want to avoid as much as an offense, 3rd and long, but seems like that's all we've kind of seen in the second half from UTEP in this offensive group. 3rd and 7s are hard to convert and, you know, hard to call. You know, everything's got to be right. The defense has an advantage. They can run twists and stunts up front and play coverages, you know, play schemes with their coverages, so it makes it tough.
5 minutes left to play. Aggies showing blitz. They're coming. Hardison throws as he's backpedaling. He connects with Tyron Smith, but it's short of the sticks. It'll bring up 4th down, and the Aggie defense forces a 3-and-out. There's really no decision to be made here from Dana Dimel. You've got to punt the ball away.
Yep, I mean, that's correct. Good job by New Mexico State coming in. Remember, this is a rookie defensive coordinator. He's one of the youngest D coordinators in the country at any level, and I think he's called a pretty exceptional game tonight.
I'm talking about Nate Dreiling at 31 years old. 31. He's the 2nd youngest defensive coordinator in all of FBS. The only one younger than him is Austin Armstrong, who's 29 years old at Southern Miss.
Yeah, and to get that type of blessing from Coach Gill really speaks volumes about how impressed they are with this kid, because Coach Gill has a really great record.
Sloan just barely gets that punt away, a low one, but a fortuitous bounce fielded on a hop by New Mexico State and taken back to about the 28-yard line. The return on the play by Lawrence Dixon got a couple of yards out of it, but more importantly, I think fielding that and not allowing that to continue to roll was a smart play by Dixon. So with 4 minutes exactly left on the clock in this 99th battle of I-10, it is a 1-score game with the team trailing by a touchdown, getting the football. Have an exciting finish for you coming up after this.
With Canva, we design presentations together.
Just pick a template.
Nice. Now customize
for amazing results.
What will you design today? Start designing for free at canva.com.
Well, this resume is getting seen, just not by who you want. You need a better plan.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. An Indeed resume is more than a resume. It works harder for you, helping you edit and improve. And it gets you seen by the right people, all without having to do one dance move.
We made USAA Renters Insurance for the stuff you love. Because if it's worth lugging up 5 floors, it's worth protecting for as low as 33 cents a day. It's that simple. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
We're all about the finals. Connecticut versus Las Vegas. Tomorrow at 3 on ABC.
I came here for one reason, and that's to win. Broncos country, let's ride.
I just spent some G's on my attire. Need some more bands. I'm a grown man.
Exactly 4 minutes left on the clock. New Mexico State trailing by 7. And with the football, starting this drive at their own 27-yard line. Diego Pavia coming off the bench at quarterback has 2 rushing touchdowns in this second half and has really given them a spark, along with Star Thomas, who gets the first down carry. And he gets up to about the 30-yard line, so a pickup of 3.
Yeah, it's a really nice play there by Jadarian Taylor, kind of breaking the line of scrimmage and making initial contact for a nice short pickup there, but they were still able to get some positive yards.
I don't think clock is too much of a factor yet. New Mexico State can still run the offense it wants to run with the one timeout, 3.5 minutes to play, needing the 1 score. But you're likely going to be in 4-down territory pretty much this whole drive.
Yeah, that's correct, Eric. I mean, it's win the game or tie the game.
Star Thomas with a hole, and he's right up near the sticks. It looks like they'll move with the chains for a first down. He was tripped up, almost got to that next level. That could have really gotten him in the open field.
Yeah, and this has got to be, discouraging for the defensive staff that they're running the ball right between the tackles on us, and that's supposed to be, a real strong point for us. And it just, right now they're having a lot of success in the second half running the ball between the tackles on us.
It was enough for a first down. 1st and 10 from the 37. Pavia facing a little pressure, but finds a seam and has midfield, and he slides, and there comes the flag. It's going to be a personal foul in addition, so he's taken down about the 50. He had another 15 yards, and just like that, New Mexico State is going to be well into UTEP territory unless they pick up this flag, but I don't think they will. There is an Aggie player down in the backfield. They end up calling it on Latrez Shelton.
Yeah, wow, that was
that's one of those tough plays though, where you're being aggressive on defense. The quarterback, who is a running quarterback, and he slides last minute. See if it's egregious. And they're both just going in there trying to make a play. They actually called it on Shelton, but it looks like Tyrese Knight provided the bigger hit. And then there comes the flag. You see the reaction from Tyrese Knight. I think that's the sentiment for a lot of defenders these days in this era of the game is, what are we supposed to do?
I mean, there's no guarantee the guy's going to slide. I mean,
he could fake the slide and keep
absolutely.
going,
You've seen it. You saw it happen in college and in the pros last year. But I don't know how you stop when you're running full speed at somebody. It wasn't a helmet-to-helmet shot. It was a shoulder into the chest. I mean, we're playing football here. But
there is
that being said, that's a rule that they put in, and it gets called a lot. Sometimes you benefit from it, but sometimes you don't.
The injured Aggie was Gabe Presidio, the left tackle, coming off gingerly. We'll take a timeout with the injury timeout. 2:39 left to play.
Let me stand next to your fire. Hey, let me stand next to your fire. Wow, let me stand, baby.
Bleu de Chanel. Eau de parfum.
Wait! Did you download Grammarly? If you want to ace this paper, then don't press submit. Grammarly helps you clean up your messy, confusing sentences to get your point across clearly. Sorry I'm late. Did you know that Grammarly checks against billions of sites and catches any accidental plagiarism? Looks like an A+ to me. Looks like we got to the CEO position.
It's up to you. Your run can be whatever you want it to be. Crazy fast or nice and slow, up the hill or around the block. Because it's not about keeping up with everyone else, or how far you've gone, or hitting the perfect time every time out. It's about letting your run be your run. Brooks is here for every runner, doing the research and sweating the details to create gear that works for you. It's your run. Brooks, run happy.
You are uniquely you, and your Starbucks coffee should be too. So if you like your coffee rich, buttery, and full of caramel flavor, then Starbucks caramel flavored coffee is made to be yours.
So we need something super distinct.
Dad's work. Meet daughter's playtime.
Wait till you hear this.
Thankfully, MetaPortal helps reduce background noise.
Zero lace model.
Adjusts to low light.
Though it seems far out.
And pans and zooms to keep you in frame.
Take a look at this.
So the whole team stays on track.
Okay, let's get some feedback. I'm impressed. Great.
MetaPortal, the smart video calling device that makes work from home work for you.
Electrified. Hungok Tire.
Shiza Pete now in at left tackle for Gabe Preciado, who went off with the injury. So a new left tackle for New Mexico State, the sophomore out of Missoula, Montana. But a 15-yard penalty tacked on. It's 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line after the unnecessary roughness on the late quarterback hit. Pavia is hit as he throws, and it's caught on a bounce. Star Thomas still running, no whistles. Thomas inside the 10 and in for the touchdown. Are they calling that a fumble recovered by Thomas and advanced in for a score? Or UTEP stopped playing thinking it was incomplete.
They could have called a lateral because it might have been a lateral as well. Lateral.
Right now it's ruled a touchdown. We're going to have to take a look at the replay. I would be shocked if this thing is not reviewed. Pavia is getting rid of it as he's throwing it. Okay, that's clearly a throw. It's just a matter of whether or not that's forward or backwards. If that's forward, that's incomplete.
It looked like a lateral to me. I can't tell because it's an end zone view, but that side view should be able to.
Yeah, now it's going to be reviewed. You're going to need that sideline angle
to see if that was a lateral or not.
And the tricky thing here, too, if you're a UTEP fan, you're going to be feeling very nervous right now because they ruled it a touchdown. You need the indisputable video evidence to overturn it. So do you have the right angle down the line to decide one way or another if this is a forward lateral, a forward pass or a lateral that was behind the line of scrimmage?
But then again, you know, the kids should keep playing till the whistle blows. But you just got, you know, a rough in the passer late hit call on Tyrese Knight, so you're kind of nervous about it. But you still got to play till the whistle blows, and unfortunately, we didn't do that.
Let's take a look at the replay here.
So he's at the 30. Yeah, that's forward.
I don't see how that could not be ruled forward.
It's a forward pass.
And that's why UTEP stopped playing. I mean, that one seemed pretty obvious to the naked eye. I was surprised. But, I mean, that's a heads-up play by Star Thomas to scoop that ball up and start running with it.
You didn't hear a whistle, but
here's another look at it. So he's at the 40, about the 43-yard line, stepping into it, 42, 43-yard line. He's hit there.
That's forward.
And Star Thomas is fielding that
so it lands at
just inside the 42.
42, yeah.
And the official just ruled incomplete. And I didn't hear the audio there, but he just overturned the call. So it is an incomplete pass. And there's a loud cheer here and collective sigh, I think, from the Sun Bowl Stadium here, the fans that are donning the blue and orange.
Well, let's hope UTEP can step up and make, you know, couple of big plays and put this thing out of reach.
Well, it was the first time in a while that they've gotten some pressure on Pavia, too. So that's an encouraging sign if you're UTEP. You didn't quite get to him, but you made him feel a little uncomfortable. And now this has gotten the crowd back into it as well.
It'd be
Second
nice,
and 10.
It'd be nice to see Praise and Jadarian Taylor put some pressure on him and get a sack.
Handoff is to Jones. There's a flag that comes in, 2 of them that come in around the line of scrimmage in the vicinity of a hold. The only other thing that caught my eye pre-snap was Praise where he was lined up. He was close to being in the neutral zone, but this is against NMSU. And Mike, you talked so much about down and distance and trying to keep ahead of the chains. This is all of a sudden becoming a very tall task for New Mexico State.
Yeah, it makes it very difficult because now the defense has all the advantages on you. They can blitz from wherever they want.
There is an injured minor down, so that's the delay here. You can see it on the left side of your screen there. Trying to catch a number there. It's difficult to see from our vantage point. There's a look at Jerry Kill in his first season at New Mexico State. He's 2014 Big Ten Coach of the Year for Minnesota, but obviously people know the story, having to resign and leave that post after health concerns. Finally felt like this was the time to get back into head coaching after going 2-2 as an interim coach at TCU last year. He is the 8th winningest coach in all of FBS entering this season. 154 wins in 23 seasons as a head coach. He's considered the fix-it guy. He's done a lot of tremendous work. Southern Illinois, Northern Illinois, turning those programs around. Did the same in the Big Ten with Minnesota.
Very well respected. Does a great job everywhere he goes. It's going to take time, but he's going to do a good job at New Mexico State.
And you know what? This was actually a 15-yard penalty. It's now 2nd and 25, so they must have gotten one of those illegal blocks, chop blocks again. So instead of a 10-yard holding penalty, it's 15. It's 2nd and 25. Pavia is facing pressure from Praise Amehule. He dumps it off to Star Thomas, who makes the catch and is able to get a little bit of it back. Amehule was in hot pursuit. Pavia got a late block on Amehule that gave him just enough time to get that off to his running back.
Yeah, it's a real good play. It looked like Wallerstadt was in on that play, and he sniffed out the screen they were trying to throw, and he still stayed after it. You can see Wallerstadt over there all over it. Makes a nice play and comes up and makes a nice tackle.
AJ Vaipulu was the one who made that block on Praise Amehule, who might have saved Pavia from being knocked into tomorrow. So that sets up 3rd and 19 after the gain of 6. 4-down territory for the Aggies. Pavia with loads of time, trying to find someone open, still dancing around. Now he's got room to run. Across the 35 and then taken down, a high tackle, no flag on the play. Tyrese Knight making the play, and it's a little bit short of the 1st down marker, but it makes it a much more manageable 4th down. It'll be about 4th and 5, and I'm sure the UTEP sideline taking a little bit of a gasp there on the tackle as well, worried that a flag was going to come in.
Yeah, it sure looked like it. He got high up in the head area, and anytime you go there, especially at a quarterback, chances are pretty high they're going to see the yellow flag come out, but and thank goodness they didn't call anything.
So it'll be 4th and 5. Now less than a minute to play. This clock melting away.
Here's the game.
Down to 50 seconds. It all comes down to this drive.
Timeout.
And a timeout taking the final one left for New Mexico State, but couldn't think of a more appropriate time to take it. This is the ball game hanging in the balance on this play.
Yeah, there you can come up with your best 4th. Every coordinator has a chart with about 10 special plays that this is my play that I like against this matchup. That's what they're going to do.
What would you do?
Well, you got to see.
Haven't had a ton of success throwing the football, but Pavia's been able to create with his legs, and Star Thomas has done some nice things here in the second half as well.
I could see them doing a run-pass option with Pavia. Now that he's on this hash, they're probably going to roll him to the right somehow, and either he keeps it or he can throw it, give you the more options. You look at what is Bradley Dale Pivotal going to do. I'm sure they've studied their tendencies and they know that he brings a lot of pressure. So Pivotto's probably say, hey, let's drop into coverage. We know he's probably going to roll out, but it's just a chess game, and whoever wins here probably gets the victory, or it's not over yet, but is going to.
Well, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves with it all coming down to this play for now, but it does enter the back of your mind too. Does Jerry Kittle go for a win instead of a tie if they get in the end zone? We'll address that in a little bit here. See what happens on 4th and 5. Need to get to the 27-yard line. Crowd on its feet. 49 seconds left. They bring pressure. Pavia gets it off in time, and it's complete for the first down over the middle. So the drive is extended. The clock will stop as they reset the chains. 44 seconds left.
Wow, that's a big throw and catch there by.
And now a timeout taken by UTEP.
Yep. You got to hand it to Diego Pivia. I mean, he's had difficulty throwing the ball all night long. Some of his receivers have dropped, but he stepped right into the pressure and took a shot right as he let that ball go and made a nice completion on a slant route to his receiver.
You can see the wide receiver coach, Tony Sanchez, in the middle of that huddle, pumping his guys up as they came back to the sideline. He's one of the few guys on that sideline who knows this rivalry, played in the game in the mid-90s, and he was the one who gave the big speech at the beginning of the week to this group of Aggies who most of them know little to anything about this rivalry, haven't played in it.
Watch the hit Pivia takes here. I mean, Tyrese Knight came in and just gave him a nice wallop, but that's a good throw, good catch into tight coverage.
And it's Jonathan Brady who had 2 carries on a reverse and an end around in the first half for 50 yards. Those 2 went for. So he's had a couple of big plays in this one.
You know, when you look at that, it's a good play call by both coordinators. Good play by the offense and defense. Sometimes you just tip your hat. The offense made a better play.
And now clock is a major factor. Aggies without a timeout left. 40 seconds to go. Fresh set of downs. Pavia taking a shot in the end zone, and it's incomplete. No flag on the play. There was a good battle there in the corner.
Yeah, there was a lot of hand fighting going on over there, but, probably a good no call. You would hate to see Tyrese Knight got a little high up near the face mask. You got to be real careful with that because now they'll call you for anything if you hit him in the quarterback anywhere near the face. That's a good no call.
A little bit of contact there. Cordell David, the intended receiver. Elijah Johnson in the coverage. He's had a good night for the Miners. And so that play takes 6 seconds off the clock. Now 2nd and 10 with 34 seconds to go. Miners showing blitz. Pavia under duress, throws it away at the last second. It's incomplete. Question is, was there anyone in the area?
Ooh.
Don't see a flag on the play yet. They are pointing at someone. It looks like maybe they're going to give him credit for, take a look at the replay to see what eligible receiver they're saying was in the area. And you don't see one in that shot.
Yeah, I sure didn't see one, but
Tyrese Knight in the middle of it once again.
Again, a smart play by a quarterback just getting rid of it. You can't take that sack. It would run too much time.
It would almost end the game.
Yeah, so smart play. Give your team one last breath. 4-2 in this instance.
Yeah, still at least 2 plays barring turnover. 3rd down and 10 with 30 seconds left. Miners bring pressure again. Complete over the middle. It is Jonathan Brady again, and it is enough for a first down. So that will stop the clock at 24 seconds before the chains reset. Aggies are quick to snap it. They're not going to spike it. Pavia on the run, and the pass is incomplete. He was looking for Cordell David. And with 15 seconds to go, that'll stop the clock. And there is an injured Miner down on the field, so there'll be a little bit of a delay here.
Boy, one of the coaches is really getting up in Pivia's face. I think they wanted to take it, kill the clock, and he was up on it. He was yelling at him pretty intensely. Yeah, it was Coach Kill. He was the one doing it.
Because the down doesn't really make a whole lot of difference at that point because you might not have enough time left to even get 4 downs in.
And you could tell that's exactly what Coach Kill was telling him. He pointed at the clock and said, hey, you got to know that right now we got 3 downs
the 3
anyway.
Plays as opposed to saving an extra play and having more precious seconds come off the clock. Injured player was Jadrian Taylor. He's walking under his own power. He'll have to come off for at least a play. He is one of their star players on the defensive line, but they have a huge rotation, so they'll just bring another guy in, probably Maurice Westmoreland.
And Jadarian is a really good kid. I've got to know him on a personal level, and he's just an excellent kid from Lufkin, Texas. Hey, I asked him, I say, well, where's Lufkin? He goes, it's in the sticks, Mr. Perez. I said, okay. I know it's in East Texas somewhere, but he called it the sticks. And but a good kid, all-around good kid.
And a great battle of I-10, 99th edition here, coming down to the final plays. 15 seconds left. Aggies need a touchdown and an extra point to tie, or a two-pointer to go ahead. All sorts of pressure coming towards Pavi. Throws it in the end zone, but it's short-hopped. He was looking for Cordell David, who's wanting a flag, and he's a little slow to get up, but doesn't get any laundry on the field. That took 5 seconds, so we're down to 10 seconds left in this one.
All right, Bradley's bringing the kitchen sink. Bradley Del Pivito's bringing the kitchen sink at this offense, and Pavia.
And that was blanket coverage. Yeah. Once again, Elijah Johnson. You can see why Cordell David was asking for the flag. Johnson was all over him.
The Miners really got to be worried about a screen here, because that's a perfect call into an all-out blitz like this.
10 seconds left. No timeouts remaining for the Aggies.
Yeah, they're going to sit back in coverage.
Pavia.
Yes.
Loses the football. It's on the turf. And it's picked up by the Miners. And that'll win the battle of I-10 for UTEP. And it's Cal Wallerstedt, of all people, making his first career start at linebacker because the Miners are so depleted at it by injury at the position. And it's the redshirt junior out of Harrisburg, North Carolina, who pounces on the football and secures the Battle of I-10 victory. And the Miners will hold on to the silver spade and brass spittoon.
Brighton Thompson came in and dislodged that ball out of Pavia's hands. Big play. I know Coach Dimmel said they were going to play a lot of people on that defensive line, but somebody who we hadn't heard of a whole lot comes in and makes a huge play. And you got to be happy for Wallerstedt. You know, his dad's a coach on the staff.
Defensive line coach.
Yep. And
as the defensive line making play after play.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be really happy for that kid.
Does that look say it all from Dana Dimmel, by the way?
I tell you.
Looks to the heavens,
you know, and
a big gasp.
Everybody could say, you know, we should have beat New Mexico State by 24 points. It's a rivalry, and it doesn't matter. We got the victory. UTEP's going to win this game and get their first victory of the year.
All it takes is one knee from Gavin Hardison, and the clock is at zeros. Miners only score 3 points in the second half and are able to hold on by a fingernail in the end and take the 20-13 win in the final battle of I-10 before these two become conference opponents next season, and the first matchup between Dana Dimmel and Jerry Kill.
Yeah, big victory for the Miners. I know it wasn't pretty. There's going to be a lot of things to correct on the film, but again, it's a victory, the first one of 2022, and a good way to send the Miners up to, up to Albuquerque to try to get a second victory.
And there's Tony Sanchez in the middle of it, the former Aggie, who tried to rally his troops ahead of this one. He's played in this game, coached at UNLV before, was also a head coach at Bishop Gorman before being brought on by Jerry Kill to this staff, and really tried to set the tone for the Aggies in this one. And, you know, credit them. It did not go well for them in that first half, and really through about 2.5 quarters. And then all of a sudden they make the switch to Diego Pavia, who is coming off being essentially benched, and he really answered the call and scored a couple of rushing touchdowns. There's a look at the trophy in the middle. We've got 2 trophies, the silver spade and the brass spittoon.
You know, UTEP won the game, but you got to definitely, like you said, give Coach Kill and his staff and his players, kudos for coming out here. And they could have very easily tucked tail and, taken a beating in the second half, but they did a good job and fought back, made it a game.
And there's the silver spade in the middle, as well as the brass spittoon. So for the second straight year, it'll stay with the Miners. They won 30-3 last year. This one was a nail-biter. They win 20-13. And the Miners get their first win of the season, improve to 1-2 on the year. New Mexico State falls to 0-3. On behalf of the entire production crew and Mike Perez, I'm Eric Elkin. saying so long from the Sun Bowl, where we saw a thriller of a 99th Battle of I-10, won by the UTEP Miners 20-13. All broadcasts are rebroadcast on the ESPN app. Thank you so much for joining us tonight from the Sun Bowl. Eric Elkins saying so long. Have a great night.